Hello, so I thought I'd do something a bit different today and do some fights against some kind of like meta teams. These are all teams. I set up a bunch of battle challenges. These are max power testing because I don't have all these teams all these heroes developed myself, but these are all from the Guild War logs. These are all teams that rival guilds on my server actually use in Guild Wars on defense. All these teams were 900k plus power, like they were all max teams. These, like I said, there's quite a variety here, right? You got some Arachne teams, you got like I said, very different, different types of teams. Like these are all a lot of Dante, a lot of you'll see some Ishmael lines, you'll see some more Dante, but it just, these are all Rufus lines, kind of a variety of stuff. I just said that I see in Guild Wars. Like I said, wanted to have a variety. A lot of these are pretty meta teams. So I wanted to do kind of a video of me fighting them, using just a small number of heroes. If you go look at my heroes, video hero challenge, just to show you, right, my hero quality drops off after the first 15. I mean, I do use Lars. My Lars kind of developed, but so essentially I have 16 heroes developed, and I only pretty much only use half of those 16 in PvP. Right, so I pretty much I mean, I have Amir, she's getting there. I'm working on her. She's almost to where I can start using her in PvP. But for most part, I use probably my go-to team. Just because this is right, so is honestly the winningest team. This team right here could probably beat a good number of those teams. Otherwise, there's a few that you'd switch out Morgan. You could also use Kane versus some of the Rufus teams as well. This is a pretty go-to team against a large number of teams in the format. Another one I use a lot is Arachne and Maya. Sometimes it'll be Albus here, sometimes it'll be Biscuit here, just really depends. This one is really good for really just forcing through damage. This will get a lot of wins. There's also sometimes you might have something like Morgan with this can also be used against certain Rufus teams. But we're gonna just kind of go through and said I pretty much never use Isaac in PvP. Even though it's even against other twins teams, I usually just will beat the twins mirror, either twins or just beating Arachne. I mean, almost I just I pretty much don't even really feel like I need Isaac. Sometimes I do, but I don't use them that much in PvP. I don't use Jew that much in PvP. Probably should. Corvus I almost never use except in Clash of Worlds. These I use them in Clash of Worlds, but it's sometimes I'll use the PvP, but even then I don't use her that much these days. So it's really I mostly do most of my work with honestly 8 heroes. So I just kind of want to show you how to beat a lot of these different teams. Just kind of using heroes I normally would use. So we're gonna just kind of go down the list, see if we can get a win versus these heroes. Like I said, you guys can keep score or whatever, but so we got Arachne, so we probably want Corvus here, or Chorus. Chorus is like I said, I've been seeing Chorus a lot more in PvP. It's one of the top guilds on the server. Like half their teams now use Chorus on defense. That's kind of what I've said. Chorus is one of the best pets in the game. He's really good. A lot of people just for whatever reason just don't understand why he's good. But no, Chorus is very, very good. But this one we could probably get away with Arachne and Maya here. Let's see. We'll run. Like I said, you're either pick your poison. You're either trying to protect against Dante or Arachne. Arachne, you will usually attack Lars because Lars is the squishiest. Though this is max testing, at least my Lars is squishier. I do think that's gonna be the best. I think you put Chorus here because Celeste is in the middle of the mages. So we'll try this, see how this goes. But this is probably the line I would use, just out of habit, because this line will usually get a win here. Okay, well, Sebastian got to go up early, so that's good. Oh, see, that's issue there. So usually you would have Axel on Celeste here versus Dante, but I was like I said, we're max testing, so we're kind of have to play slightly different than we normally would, but I think we're going to get it here. I don't think it's going to matter too much here. Oh, actually, maybe Lars died. Maybe we'll time out. Yeah, this could be a timeout. So we're going to switch. We're going to try this again, but with different patrons. Like I said, max testing, it's a bit harder to know where to put my patrons because, like I said, my Lars is optimized. My Lars has really low health on purpose. So, like I said, dodge rolls can matter too, but this is going to be just a timeout, which is fine. We'll run this one again, but this time we'll switch up our patrons. Like I said, normally I would win that fight. And again, like just a better dodge roll would also change that. But we're going to put Axel on Celeste, which is where I'd normally have her, like probably for this, like against Dante. But my gut's telling me to put that there, but like it didn't work that well. So that's probably what I would normally recommend here. You might not even need a chorus here. I said, because it looks like Sebastian's getting noticed running off earlier. But then again, if the opponent Arachne has less health than if max testing Arachne, she might ult earlier. So that's part of like it's just insurance. Like I said, this is a pretty easy. Like I said, Aurora is like a really strong counter to Dante. Like usually Aurora just decimates Dante teams. So like I said, so long as Celeste survives here, like this is gonna be an easy win. Like I said, pretty much so long as Celeste survives, you should be able to get a win. All right, see, this is... Yep, there you go. See, that's how I would normally expect that fight to go. Just had the patron set up wrong. And this is a similar line. This one, they're using Biscuit here. Since it's max testing, we might just run Axel. Though, there is a case to be made that you should use that actually. We will stick with chorus. I'm like, just because if you get stunned by Arachne, it's game over. Like, you cannot get stunned by Arachne. Like, that is game. Arachne will kill you. Alright, so... Yep, pretty easy for the twins there. Trinity Twins, like I said, this is another one, probably Trinity Twins. Like I said, these are all lines I see people use in Guild War on defense. Like I see all these, like literally the one that's top guild on the server. Some of these lines literally came from like the top guild on the server. They'll have lines like these on defense, and like Trinity Twins will decimate a lot. It's part of why I'm like Trinity Twins is just the winningest team in the game. Like they might not be the best defense team. Like defense is, like I said, is kind of a crapshoot, but the fact that one just the same 5 heroes can beat such a large portion of the field is just, like I said, it's just mind-boggling. It's part of why I always tell people like this team's still worth leveling just because of how easy it is to get wins with them. Yeah, Aurora might die here, but so let's see. Just really, we're on max test. Okay, there it is. So see how Aurora's spirit is behind her now. So that's part of why I always say Lars is one of the best Iris counters, because you end up moving forward, which ends up putting the soul out of range of a lot of heroes. And just like I said, so just the Krista Lars combo really just decimates Iris. So again, another easy Trinity Twins win. Here's another one. So this one could be beat with Trinity twins usually. Biggest issues you'll run into is Leanne. Like Leanne's here. But as they don't have uh a Sebastian though. So usually, like I said, you could probably win this with Trinity twins, and we might run that here. But because I don't have Sebastian, a lot of times I will just stun cheese them with Maya and Arachne. Like I honestly like just like if you don't have Sebastian, you're just making the game easier for me. So we'll run this. And there's also a case to be made, like to put Axel on Arachne so she doesn't die to Dante. It just really depends like on how much life you put into Arachne. But my Arachne is kind of squishy. Like she has pretty low life and she can sometimes get one shot by Dante. So I do sometimes use Axel on Arachne. Like Axel on Arachne is like probably one of the most underrated like patronages for it. But we're actually doing pretty bad here. So maybe we do want to go with the twins. But Leanne is kind of a pain. Like I really like Leanne is probably there's no hero in the game I hate playing against more than Leanne. Like legit, I absolutely hate playing against Leanne. Literally my least favorite hero to face. But we're doing pretty good. Like I said, I mean, I can beat a lot of these teams like this, but a lot of times because I hate fighting Leanne, I'll try to have somebody else do it. But see, there you go. We got a win here. And we could try this with the twins here too, just to kind of work like I said. But Arachne is like such a... This is why I always say you should have Sebastian on defense. Like, I mean, I almost feel like if you don't have Sebastian on defense, you're probably making a mistake because you just make it too easy for like an Arachne or something just to lock your team out of the game. But we can run this also with like the Trinity twins. Gosh, you have Dante there? Yeah, we'll run that. That's fine. In chorus... Mm-hmm. All right. Shoot. Aurora died. This might be... We might time out. Like I said, that's why a lot of times when I have Sebastian, I just kind of go with Arachne combo. Because because out of Aurora, they have... looks like they... Like I said, I set them up. They have Oliver. But no, we got it. So, said chorus for the win there. Because Aurora was stunned, so she couldn't dodged. But yeah, no, like I said, but again, that's another reason to have Sebastian, because she was stunned, couldn't dodge, so yeah, so like all that ends up working against you, which is why Sebastian on defense, guys. Like if you don't have Sebastian on defense, you're probably doing it wrong. So this one has Isaac here. You probably could win this with the twins, but because it's Isaac, I don't really... They would not be my first choice. And this is something I'd almost always use Arachne and Maya for a line like this. Just because it's going to work a lot better. And Biscuit on Maya to strip out to Serenity. So it's really about, like I said, it's not about leveling like 20 different heroes to be good at PvP. It's about having your patrons all maxed. Or most of them, like at least the ones you need. Like Fenris, you don't need to level Fenris. And Biscuit, you don't need to max out. You just need to go into Violet so you can strip out. Mm-hmm. Yep, see, like I said. And again, this is another fight where Arachne just really is able to run through it. Like, yeah, you probably could beat this one with the twins, but sometimes you'll just lose to Isaac. It just really depends. Like, you really gotta know how to play in manual. And this isn't well, we will run manual probably in a couple of the later Rufus teams, maybe, but Like, you don't want to spend too much time on manual fights because it just, a lot of people seem to struggle with that, and that's kind of beyond the scope of this video. We're just kind of showing you how to get wins with like a small number of heroes. Like so far, we've used exactly 7 heroes for all these lines. So here we go. We got Kayla, we got Iris, we got Chorus. Again, this is what the person who had this team in Guild War was using Chorus on defense, like becoming an increasingly common hero, a increasingly common pet on defense. It's like I said, I've been using Chorus on my defensive team for months now. It's like, he's really good. Totally recommend it. Let's see. But Iris here, like, you probably just want to run this line here. Kayla's gonna maybe, like I said, you gotta hope, like I said, but see, because Kayla damages Lars, for Celeste ends up putting Purifying Sphere on Lars really quickly. But the thing is, like, okay, so she actually jumped back. But if Kayla was still here when Lars ulted, he would have actually pulled the whole team to this side. Like, and you can actually end up with the enemy team on the left, the defending team on the left hand side, your attacking team on the right hand side. Like, that could happen sometimes. It's kind of funny when it does, but it is something that can happen with, like, Kayla or Luther. Maybe like Cleaver sometimes can pull Lars to, like, somewhere, Maya. Like, heroes who can cause displacements can mess up, but I see easy win for Trinity Twins here. I know you guys probably want to look at all these infos too. Have been showing them, but we can go back and show those infos because we've been chattering like about this. But in case you want to see infos, all these wins, like that was, or at least first one was a defeat because we messed up our patronage. Like, patronage is super important. Like, how you set up patrons makes such a big difference in this game. Like, patron, like I said, this game, hero fights really are all about pets. Like, they could almost call this game Pet Wars. Boom. There you go, and that's one we just showed you from the last one. Okay, and then here we go. Dante as tank. Again, I would use Trinity Twins here most of the time. Actually, you don't even need Sebastian for this one. Like, you don't even need Sebastian for this one, but because there's no like status effects. I mean, besides blind, but you don't care about blind with your magic team. Like, you could totally switch Sebastian out for Maya or Arachne or anything else, but usually Sebastian has a bit more health than the other heroes, so why I'd use it. Or like on my, like I said, honestly, you could bring in like a second tank or something, or a second healer. Like, but you do want to keep Lars in the very back so he's out of Dante range. But we'll just run this here. Oh, and I also usually use Kane versus Dante because when Dante's tanking, Axel's just playing too slow. Axel's too slow to do anything. Like, because Axel does nothing in the first 15 seconds of the fight. Because Dante's already ulting here. And because I have Kane, Kane offers a passive mitigation bonus to the whole team. So just by having Kane as my pet, there's a higher chance the whole team will dodge and avoid Dante's damage. But it looks like I said, boom. But these fights, the fights with Dante's tank are usually mercifully short. Like, boom. And all that. Said Kane. Look at that. 8 dodge buffs, guys. 9 dodge buffs at once. There you go. The downside is, though, Kane's terrible versus Aurora, just because Aurora gets to spam a bunch of AE stuff. Like, you'd think Kane was bad versus Dante, except Dante's physical attacks, so Kane's much better versus Dante than it is versus Aurora. Adding Dante's ult takes a lot longer to use. It has a lot longer animation, so it's just, like, Aurora's ult's pretty much instant. It's boom, done. And that's how it goes. Whereas Dante's ult, he has to throw like 4 different spheres, so it takes a bit longer. Like, that also affects stuff. So this is an Ishmael team. Ishmael is really tough. I don't, like I said, I would not recommend Trinity Twins for this line. This is one of those lines where Trinity Twins is probably not going to work too well for you. This is where you will definitely, this is where I definitely would bring in Arachne and Maya. Let's see, they got that there. Again, I got all these lists, all these teams for defending teams from like some of the top guilds on the server. All of these are Gold League guild teams that were like said near max teams. Like we are doing max testing, but these are all like actual meta teams we're testing against here. I mean, I think Astaroth's kind of dubious. I think most of the time you'd probably see Rufus here, but like I said, a lot of variety. Like, well, if you do see the loss, you might start to say sex ed. I mean, you do see a lot of the same heroes over and over and over again. And that's because there's number of heroes that are actually viable is probably around 20. There's 60 something heroes in the game. Only like 20 of them are actually viable. I mean, most heroes are unfortunately kind of unplayable trash. Like I said, I think Astaroth's a pretty dubious pick. I don't really recommend him. But Arachne could be really good versus Ishmael. Arachne and Maya can be if you can keep Ishmael stunned, you have a chance here. Boom. And see, the res got blocked by a Celeste there. Like you saw Ishmael res and then die instantly. That was because of the Cursed Flame. Like I said, some people apparently don't know that Celeste can block Astaroth's res. But no, said blocks Astaroth's res with Cursed Flame. Doesn't work versus Rufus because the reason it kills him is that it does magic damage, and well, Rufus just revives his magic damage, so you can't actually do it with, you can't block Rufus res with Celeste unless you, like I said, unless you have like Morgan. Morgan can do that. Morgan can block Rufus res. Like I said, that's because Morgan just blocks the res rather than kills them by doing damage when the heal happens. Like, it's kind of different how it works. But, boom. Here's another Ishmael team. We'll run the same strategy. This one has, but here's the thing. This one has Chorus on defense. And this is where it gets tricky because now it's, stunning with Arachne is going to be a lot harder. Like, we can probably, like I said, this is where we talk about why Chorus is so good. Is now it's a lot harder to stun. This is actually a really hard fight here. And we might not be able to win this here. Like this Pike said, Chorus just so good. But we can try this. We'll try this. We might have to switch to a different team here, though. We might have to bring in a different hero. Like I said, this is the reason this is going to be hard for us is the core as that Chorus complicates things. Like it's why I say it's why I switched to Chorus because Chorus really is like probably the best defensive pet right now. But see, we're not stun locking him near as hard as we did before. Because Chorus has like a 71% chance of resistant status effects, so it's like you really gotta see if like misses, blocks, and all that stuff. Like they aren't getting stunned nearly as frequently. Like if you do get a stun, it lasts a long time. If we can get Sebastian down, we can. There we go. Sebastian's down, so. Said Ishmael can still win. Like Ishmael's still alive. Like if we don't get Ishmael stunned, we might lose this fight. See, blocked by Chorus there. And this right here is this is like a casebook, a study of like why Chorus is such a great defensive pet. Or a textbook case. Sorry, casebook. What? Textbook case. All right. Okay, so Ishmael's stunned now. The pure damage is going. All right, like that. So yeah, you really have to get stunned. Like you're really though, you can lose this randomly just because Chorus can really ruin your day. But generally, one of the best ways to beat Ishmael is to stun him, and then just kind of beat him down because he can't really use his abilities if he's that way. Here's another one that's Dante tank, but this one has Isaac here, so this could be trickier. So we will run Trinity Twins, though. Let's see, run this. Where's Sebastian? Where is Krista? There's Krista. Again, we will use Kane here. Actually, since they have Jew, and this is where another thing where it complicates. Like, do you put Axel on Lars? Yes, because Jew's there. But now Celeste is more vulnerable to Dante. So again, you have to watch out for that. Oh, shoot! And I messed up here. Yep. Okay, we got Otis running off. Like, you generally want to hold off on ults until Ode's up, but we might have to do this one because kind of messed up. We kind of, like I said, kind of messed up our theme here because we had it on auto at the beginning. Yeah, this is gonna probably be a loss. Yep, that's a loss because I messed up that one. So, all right. Said, and a lot of times you don't want a patron on Nebula, just because the only patron she can use is Kane, and there's almost always a better place for Kane. So a lot of times I don't recommend. Oh wait, we were gonna redo this one. Sorry. Like what? That's not the right line. Okay. Celeste. Okay, let's try this again. This time we will not auto at the beginning. Okay, now we... There we go. All those dodge buffs, really making it hard for Isaac to actually do any damage here. Yeah, no, generally when you're trying to fight Isaac there, you don't, like said, you don't want to start spamming your ults and stuff. Like, I've kind of messed up on the beginning the first time because I had it on auto. Like, you want to hold back, wait till the Serenity's up before you turn on auto or before you start using a bunch of magic damage stuff. Like, if you don't have Otis Serenity, you have Silence, like, it could be GG. He also, Isaac had Oliver in this one. Like, it's probably a mistake. You probably want Mara on Isaac there because if he can land Silence, it's GG with Mara because that's silence lock him. Again, here's another Dante tank team. Like, these are really popular, and I don't really think I've never been too impressed with Dante as a tank. Like, at least on the high end. Like, he's okay on the lower end, but once you get to high end, like, you're just kind of like better off using something else. They have Leanne. They don't have Sebastian. So there's a case to be made that you should use Arachne and Maya here, but we're gonna do this here with Kane here. Again, Trinity Twins, like, because it's Iris. Trinity Twins usually pretty good for Iris lines. Like I said, you said once Lars ults, your team gets to move forward, and now the exposed soul is not so exposed because now it's here in front. And oh, we just lost Sebastian though. Go Kane. It's okay. Kane's gonna win here. Kane's gonna get the win here. We just have to wait for Kane to ult again, and then we'll win. Bye-bye. Kane for the win. Okay, here's a Rufus team. No real status effects. This is the kind of team where I'd probably just bring in Morgan. We actually would have bring Sebastian. Like, that's right. We would bring in Morgan, not Sebastian. Bring in the twins. probably do this here. We definitely have Axel here, try to protect against you. Like, so this is the kind of situation where Astaroth's actually good as like as a support. Like, because I don't have Sebastian here, like he can actually get some value out of his energy burn thing. Shoot, we just lost Lars, but I think we're far enough along. We should be okay because we got them bunched up, and like I said, Celeste can probably finish them here. Oh, Celeste got energy burn, which is actually probably bad for them. Because that just means Celeste isn't going to try healing, which is not what we want her to do anyway. So, because we want to keep Celeste into dark mode. Yeah, losing Lars definitely hurt this here. Because we're not able to stun Rufus to secure the win. Like, this is where you would probably use Yasmin. This is the kind of line I'd probably normally use Yasmin for. Because we're going to time out here. So we're going to run this back, but with Yasmin Morgan. Like I said, normally I'd probably use Yasmin for this one just because it's just easier to get a kill with them. Like, you could, like I said, if Lars survived, this isn't a much easier win, but Lars didn't survive. That's because Jew got to be with, like, Axel on him. Like he has a tendency to just get picked by Jew. That is the one downside to this kind of thing. But you definitely need Celeste. You can't put Martha behind Lars or anything because otherwise you'll just time out that way. Because you definitely need Celeste. But wasn't like a huge defeat. That would be an easy clean in a guild war. But shoot, that's not the line we want. Oh, wait, actually, we can't use Yasmin. It says Helios. I forgot about that because he died really quickly last time, but let's see. So let's go pull up Morgan. We will still use the twins, though. I mean, I guess we could use Arachne and Maya here. There's a few choices we have here. Let's see. Right, one option is, like I said, is to cut Aurora and to try to use, like, Martha or something in the back. Like, you could always do something like this. Another option would be just to use, like, Arachne up front. Like I said, I mean, honestly, Martha's a good option, but we kind of don't want to use Martha for this extra, trying to limit the number of heroes we use. So, because we're up to 8, so let's actually just go with the Arachne and Maya strategy. I think that'll work, like I said. So let's try Arachne and Maya. That in using these tests before you fight your guild war battles is actually pretty good. Like, if you're not sure which line to use, this is a good way to test like a proof of concept. All right, so let's see. They really need to give us some more sorting options for heroes. My gosh, it's getting so unwieldy. Okay, so we'll try this. Again, not put Celeste in the back, which also could be a problem. But honestly, cutting Aurora and putting Krista at the front and then Martha, that's probably the best strategy. But we're gonna try to avoid using Martha for this, so. But we have Axel on Celeste, it should be good. There you go. Stunned. right. There goes Astaroth and... Oh, that's right. Morgan blocked the res already. See? Astaroth, look at him. He's so cute. Yeah, so Arachne and Maya here is actually a pretty good route here. All right, now we can take off auto because he's got to secure kills now. There you go. Boom. Guess you didn't even need to take it off auto since it didn't matter because it was already over. But there you go. So yeah, Arachne and Maya for the win again. Boom. Next line. So this is an Iris line. This should be easy. Morgan, Crystal, Celeste, or that said Celeste up here. Celeste. Like I said, no control heroes on the defending teams, so we don't even need Sebastian. So again, another case study of why like having control teams on your defending teams always a good job, a good idea. Because now there's no penalty for me dropping Sebastian for Morgan here. There's no, like I said, there's no downside. Because there's no control heroes to worry about. Sebastian's gone. Okay, now we just want to secure the kills. Gonna wait for Chris to refresh her spikes. There you go. Come on, Sebastian. Like I said, Sebastian's Ode to Serenity's still there. Like, we might have wanted Biscuit on Celeste here. That was actually probably because we didn't really need Axel on her, so that's actually kind of a mistake here. So we probably wanted Biscuit on Celeste here. But he's done now, so we're good. Yeah, no, having the right patrons can make a huge difference. But there you go. This is a win right here. Boom. Ah. Because there's no, like I said, there was nothing to really force me to use Axel here. So Axel's the wrong pick. That should have definitely been Biscuit. Biscuit was the right pick. All right. Well, we're getting almost to the end of the list here. So this is a Leanne team here. So this one's actually really tricky because like I said, since they have Rufus and stuff, like, so you can't just go Morgan because if you go Morgan, then you lose Sebastian. Like, you can't, like I said, so this ends up being kind of tricky. So you can do Morgan, and then rely on Chorus to try to get a win, which can work. Like, I think I've beat teams like that before, but we'll just do this. Like I said, so we're gonna get a lot of like charm action with Leanne, but on the other hand, like, the other heroes will break charms, so like, and that's just kind of what the best you can do is just try to bring in Chorus. Like I said, so we're using Morgan. We drop Sebastian for Morgan, but we are going to get charmed. But their heroes will at least break the charm on Aurora. Like, Aurora should be able to keep those teapots down. Keep some dodge buffs up so you don't die to Dante in the meantime. Alright, Dante's gone. Like I said, we've not been able to use Lars ult once so far, and the fight's halfway over. Like I said, Leanne is, like I said, I absolutely hate fighting Leanne. Yep, now this is probably going to be less because Lars got locked out here with Leanne. So what we're probably going to do is we're just going to go do old reliable. Oh, Chris is down, so Lars didn't even get ult before Krista died, so yeah. Like this is, like I said, free issue with Leanne, so this is not going to work. We're going to have to try something else here. You can look at the stats though, like Leanne did all the damage. Like, it's just really hard to force through win that way. Like, we went down one. We need to, go right here. Okay. So what we're going to do is go with Kane here. Hold reliable. That's how I'd probably normally try to beat it. Just really depends on the specific line. So now we got Serenity back up. But we drop Chorus. We might need Chorus too. We'll see. Okay, well, Dante's gone. Okay. All right, here we go. Shoot. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, probably need Chorus. So third time's going to be the charm here. So Leanne just killing my team here. Yep, so that's why I use Chorus versus Leanne. For that right there. Okay, third time's charm. We're going to use Chorus. Chorus also does physical damage. You can kind of use him similarly to Kane, so that's honestly what we should have just did. Boom. Like I said, this is why testing in guild battles is really important for like Guild Wars. Because you can test your proof of concept, see if it works. Yeah, of course we'll target Leanne too, so. Oh, Celeste is in melee range, so she's not going to get charm locked. There's like no chance for it now. At least till Lars ults again. All right. Okay, gotta get Martha down. Nope, of course, just does not have the damage potential there. Shoot. Revived. Like, so this is why I like Kane. So yeah, this is just gonna, we're gonna have to use Arachne and Maya here, I think. Oh, he revived. Dang it. Come on, Celeste. Ah, there we go. We did get it with Chorus. That's pretty tricky. It's like Chorus just like said, he does have really good damage. Like you'll probably have to have Chorus fully loaded from Leanne before trying to finish off Rufus with it. But you can do it that way. It's not as reliable as Kane, but works. And this is a similar one, but this one does not have Sebastian. So this one we will Arachne our way through victory here. You can be sure of it. Morgan. Arachne. Maya. Let's see. Chorus. All right. Oh, this has got to be a long video, isn't it? I should have known that when I was putting up like a dozen defensive teams to test. It's okay. You guys like these longer videos, it seems like, so. All right, nice. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so there you go. Yeah, we probably should have just used Arachne on the last one, too. I think it probably would have been an easier win. But everyone's stunned. Nobody's doing anything. There you go. All right, Leon's gone. Can safely. Bye bye. There you go. So that's how you get that one. Said Arachne, stuns. Like I said, should have probably used Arachne on the previous one. Probably would have been easier, but here you go. And here's another one. Again, this one is another tricky one because this is where, like I said, so you got Arachne, you got Dante, you got Iris. Like, and this one is definitely a Trinity twins with Kane in manual. This would be harder in the arena. Like arena, you're probably gonna have to hope for some good luck there. I'd probably avoid in the arena, but this is what we're gonna use here. We're just gonna wait till Lars pushes it back, then we'll start holding. So usually I just let the first one go auto. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, now we just gotta wait for the right time to finish him off with Kane. Come on, you gotta stun him, Lars. Ode to Serenity really is like just the bane of so many teams' existence. Aurora's behind Rufus now. He's stunned though, so we should be able to finish this. Yeah, it wasn't a good because we want to really because you don't want to accidentally res him because you pretty much got one shot at this. There you go, just like that. You just gotta wait, find your opening, and then just use Kane to do the killing blow. So like that's how you beat like a wide variety of teams. Pretty much. So I actually used exactly 8 heroes. I used exactly 8 heroes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Is that 6? I think I might have messed up, but that was like I think 14, 15 fights. So yeah, like that's a right variety. We used just 8 heroes. We just used Trinity Twins. So we used these 5 heroes, plus we also used Morgan and Arachne and Maya. So just 8 heroes to really rule them all. Like, and that's pretty much all I do in PvP. Like the other hero I use in PvP a lot is Yasmin. There's sometimes some of those Rufus lines sometimes just easier to break with like Yasmin, Morgan, something like that. But usually you'd actually have this here. It'd look like this usually. It usually looks something like that, but pretty much like 8 heroes though was able to beat all those teams. And like these are all teams we have seen in Guild War like last week. They were all used in Guild War just last week, so they are teams that a lot of people do have trouble struggling with, and a lot of it comes down to like less about having the right heroes and more about having the right heroes matters, like having Sebastian, for example, and stuff. But it's like having like so they said most heroes in this game are worthless. I mean, there's 60 heroes in the game, only 20 of them are actually worth investing in. But more importantly, though, is having all your pets, like developing pets. Like what allows me to beat a wide variety of teams with a small number of heroes is having a bunch of developed pets. All 9 of my pets have max patronage. All the pets I use in combat are maxed out on the combat side. I don't use these for combat ever, so I don't need them. But all the pets I use, the 5 I use for combat are maxed out on the combat side. And then we're just kind of hoarding particles. For probably the next pet, there'll probably be a pet in like September or something. Yeah, not too much more to say about that. For more like for another video that's kind of a similar vein, if you enjoyed this one, check out my video on opportunity costs below. Thanks for watching.